What's going on, my boys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm YTDan, and I appreciate you clicking on this video. This video is for Gunsblazing, but I'm uploading it here on YouTube for everyone to see because, hey, I mean, I'm not, I'm not afraid to let people know how I feel about the boy. Guns, you are truly an inspiration to me, and I want to start off with that. I feel like regardless of what type of content that I continue to make here on this channel, I felt like the first video of 2019 needed to be in your honor. Making this video has been helping me to reflect on the reason why I even make content in the first place. And back in the day when I first started making Duel Links content, I had come from a channel that was making amiibo content previously. I had about 5,000 subs, and I remember that specifically because I would always keep thinking in the back of my mind, there are 5,000 people right now disgusted with me that I just ran off and made this content. And I want to say that I really respect how you decided to transition away from Duel Links. You know, there's so many YouTubers and Twitch streamers, content creators, or just people who make things on the internet that are disgraced away from making their content, that are overstaying their welcome and just doing terrible things in general, or disappearing, or just, deciding to make a complete and total 360 with barely any explanation. I really feel like you did the right thing. When you decided to leave, you gave about a month's time to let everybody know that, hey, I'm gonna be leaving, and it's not goodbye. It's more of a see you later. You know, letting people know that, like, hey, I'm moving on, and that's okay. And I feel like giving people like a month's time, I feel like that was I feel like that was the best way to do it. And telling people overtime, because I first heard that you were leaving when someone came to my stream and told me so, and I didn't believe them at first. I thought somebody was just memeing me. I thought I was being tilted. So I head over to your stream later on that night, and I don't know if you remember this, but I was sitting here at my computer, and I'm just reading the comments, as you do. I'm reading the comments, and I keep thinking, like, no, this guy isn't leaving. He's not going anywhere. And you happen to say, no, guys, I'm actually quitting. And I remember seeing that, and I just was like, no way. So I think I sent a donation or some gems or some dibbly-doos, whatever it is you send on Twitch. I think I either sent some money or some of those things. And I basically was like, hey, are you really leaving? Oh, no, I think I had a resub, like a sub thing. That's inconsequential. It doesn't really matter. But I sent a message, and I was like, hey, are you really leaving? And you were like, yeah, Dan, I am quitting. And I remember it just hit me, and I was just like, I was pretty shocked. And I thought it was, I don't know, I felt the way about it. And I even sent you a DM and told you so. I felt the way. But it wasn't like I felt the way like I was angry or sad or anything. It was more like it made me feel like, oh man, I can't believe it. I was shocked. I was taken back. And I'm sure many viewers were. And the other day, when you were basically telling your final goodbye, saying that you were leaving because you wanted to pursue your dream and work on this game that you've been working hard to get into the industry. You've been working hard to learn. You went through college to do this, and you couldn't find a job starting out, and you worked hard through your whole life to get this thing, and you got an up, and you decided to take that up and use it as a platform to pursue what you really want to do. And I can respect that 10,000 times. I can respect that. The thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! is that it's a game that brings people together. And that's why I love the game. Yu-Gi-Oh has always been there for me, building me up and giving me so many opportunities. Opportunities that I have not shared with my channel yet, that I will be at some point during this year. But Yu-Gi-Oh has really been like such a blessing to so many people. You know, putting people in a situation where you can meet new people is always going to be enriching, because you never know what that person will bring to your life. And what you brought to me was inspiration. So earlier this year, I was going to quit myself. I was going to leave YouTube. And it was not for a reason that people may think. I was going to leave YouTube because I was disgusted with the platform. You know, there is so much about YouTube that I love, but I feel like there's more things that I kind of hate about the platform. And here's just a couple things. First off, before I even say anything that I don't like about the platform, I'm going to mention that Jack Black has a YouTube channel that has over 2 million subs and 0 content on his name alone. You got somebody like Will Smith in the YouTube Rewind, and then you got these nighttime hosts doing Fortnite dances. What is YouTube? What is it turned into? Like, Imp Lemon calls it the downward spiral, and it truly is. It's maddening. And as someone who's a quote-unquote old school YouTuber, someone who has watched content on this platform for a long time and tried to make a channel over many years, you know, finally getting an opportunity to do the one thing I actually really want to do is make Yu-Gi-Oh content, I was going to quit last year because I really believed that I could not compete in this system where the only thing people wanted were deck lists. And the only thing people were interested in were, in my eyes, BS content that had an expiration date. I didn't want to make daily content that was fluff. I was interested in making content that would last for a long time, content that people will watch and love and be nostalgic about and come back to over a certain amount of time and feel good about watching it a second time. And to be fair and honest with myself, I didn't think that that was the type of content that I was creating. I thought that that content that I was making was just stuff to help me get by and things to help my channel grow, which in my eyes was just fluff. And for a long time, I really did not enjoy making YouTube videos. The same disdain that I had for my HR job that I had literally worked my entire life to gain and has taken that almost to the highest peak that it can go to, you know, I was really starting to get irritated and bored with it because I couldn't make the content that I was passionate about, because I felt like if I ever took a break, if I ever stopped, then I would pay the price. So I got to a point where I was going to quit. I was going to leave YouTube and be done with this whole journey. But one day, I looked up at your channel and I saw that you were climbing almost to 100,000. And when I saw that, it really inspired me. It really made me reconsider quitting. Because when I saw that, I realized that there is an audience there that is not there for a deck list. And people were deck lists, asking me constantly for deck lists. And that is partially my fault. Like, I do enjoy deck building, and I do enjoy making spicy new decks, and I do enjoy tilting the meta with these decks. But I felt like every time you make a video, you've already your video's already done. Like, you made your video, you put your video up, it has 24 hours of watch time, and then the video basically flatlines afterwards. Like, you know, people watch it one time and then it's over. Or people watch it and they only watch up to when they see the deck list and they leave. So all the effort that I put into the video was for nothing. And that's the majority of people watching the content. So that really had an effect on me, and I really thought that was gone. But I was able to see you climb to 100,000, and I would read your comments and things like that. And it really inspired me and showed me that there was a way forward so I could make that content I wanted to make. So I changed my content. We used to talk about this in the past, but at that point in my life, I was pretty much I felt like alone in many areas, and YouTube was just another area where I felt alone. So I didn't reach out to anyone, but I just started to change my content, experiment, and there's lots of people who all think they know better or think that they understand what I'm doing or whatever, but nobody knew what I was doing. Because at the time, I was trying to figure out me and trying to figure out my way forward. And when I saw you climb into that 100K, it made me try out a bunch of new things, and I was able to find myself again and find the passion that I had for content creation, for making videos again. And I decided from that moment that I wasn't going to compromise my passion for content creating to serve, quote unquote, the algorithm or to do anything else. Because I found myself struggling to make content to make money. But when I made content so that I could just be proud of what I made, it was more gratifying. So that's why I decided to quit YouTube full-time, period, and go back to working my miserable HR life. And don't get me wrong, it is not a miserable life at all. It's a desk job, well paid, and it is nothing to complain about at all. But it's just a thankless job that's soul-sucking that I wanted to have more passion in doing my work. When I went to Japan, and again, this is random stuff that I'm throwing in here, but this is important. When I went to Japan, it changed my life on how I think about work and how I do things. The people in Japan had this pride for whatever it was that they were doing. If it was some shitty job or a high job, they just had pride about whatever it was they were doing. And I felt like I did not have pride in anything except for the YouTube stuff, for the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. And I wanted so desperately to make that my thing, my gig. So I took a chance on it. And when I took a chance on it, I applied the same business mind to it to just see what I needed to do. What's the base level requirements? And the base level requirements for me, honestly, just wasn't something that made me happy. It was actually something that made me miserable, because it just was doing everything that I didn't want to do and becoming the type of YouTuber that I absolutely despise on this platform, which is people who just make fluff content. And people eat it up because there's no other choice. But I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And around that time, I got this new wind of inspiration. I got this new burst of energy. And I decided that in 2019, I'm going to change everything about how I do my content. So I opened up this second channel where I was going to do my live stream. I completed this Duel Links movie. I did all this stuff so that I could prepare myself for 2019 so that I could have an explosive year and create the best content of my life. If I quit in 2020, if I never make Duel Links content ever again, or if I disappeared from this plane of existence, I would be satisfied with the content that I was making because I was making it for me and I'm making it for people who care about it. So I did a lot of stuff, made a lot of changes. And some people left and some people stayed, and a new audience has grown here on the YTDan channel. And a lot of that is based off the inspiration from you. I feel like, kind of like Ronnie Edwards, who tragically committed in 2018. He used to be an editor for Game Theory and a content creator for Digressing and Side Questing, which is his channel. You know, he's someone who I watched his content and appreciated that man. And now he's gone. And you know, you're quitting Duel Links, but you're not dead, of course. You're not dying. You're not depressed. You're not, or I don't know about any of that stuff, but I'm saying, like, you're not disappearing, and you can get these flowers, and I'm gonna hand them to you. That's it. So I appreciate you, and I don't know, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you were here for the time that you were, and I'm super excited for the future and what you're going to create and pursue, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to tell you that I appreciate you and that you inspired me, and that I wish you all the best of luck, and I can't wait to pre-order and live stream your game, my boy. So that's all I want to say. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.